Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm Christopher, and today we're going to be talking about something that just as equally ruffles my feathers as there being no sequel of Nigel Marven, and that is Nigel Marven not being in Walking with Cavemen, a show that came out in 2003, covered human evolution, and yeah, we're going to be covering Walking with Cavemen, something that I mentioned in my previous video about everything you need to know about walking with dinosaurs. And yeah, this is the second most thing that gets me all talking nonstop is that Nigel Marven was gonna be in Walking with Cavemen. And as you can see right here, we have picture proof that he was, and we'll get to it. So, Walking with Cavemen was a show that talked about human evolution, evolved over 3.5 million years into Homo sapiens, and the first episode came out on March 27th, 2003 in the UK. It was narrated by Robert Winston, we'll get to him in a minute, Alec Baldwin, which we know a lot about in the US, and Andrew Sachs. I don't know who Andrew Sachs is, but I'm pretty sure Andrew Sachs is an okay guy. I don't think we'll cover Andrew Sachs in this because, yeah, you can look up who Andrew Sachs is. But I mainly want to talk about Robert Winston and Nigel Marven and how Pictures Impossible messed this up. And they have episodes of the show, I think, on YouTube, which you can watch for free, which is, I guess this show doesn't have a very strong copyright as, I guess neither of these shows have a really strong copyright. So what gets me so upset and so, ruffles my feathers, if I even have feathers, is that they replaced Nigel Marven right here. In this article, they cover it. They just really messed up on Pictures Impossible, really messed up on this opportunity. It was a missed opportunity, and I'm just so shocked. I was so shocked, and I'm still shocked about this. Originally, Nigel Marven was supposed to be the host of the series and was later replaced by Robert Winston. So the article I'm reading is the Walking with Wicks, and you can review it for yourself. It says this is the only installment in the Walking with series where Tim Haines or Jasper James weren't involved with. I guess this was directed by another director. Who directed this? Originally, producers Mark. It says the producers were Mark Hedgel. I'm gonna butcher that if I say his last name, and Peter Georgi. Executive producer Richard Dale. It doesn't say who the director was. Wait, if we go back to here, maybe it might say who the director was. I guess the director is going to be left anonymous, but yeah. Whoever the director was didn't know what he was doing, and they probably should have left it to Tim Haines and Jasper James, and which is probably why this documentary failed so much, because they brought in a new guy, Robert Winston, which we'll get into in a minute. not counting Chased by Dinosaurs Special's Sea Monsters. Those two did way better than this one, in my personal opinion, which were presented by Nigel Marven, which did a better job of presenting it. This is also the only installment not narrated by Heath. It was narrated by somebody else. It was narrated by Robert Winston and Alec Baldwin in the US. I haven't even seen the Alec Baldwin version. Okay, so now we can cover who Robert Winston is. So I googled Robert Winston, and he's the member of the House of Lords in the United Kingdom, and this guy looks like a very nice mustache man. His age is 84 years old, and he was born in 1940, in July 15th. He seems like a pretty nice guy, and then when you scroll down, things start getting confusing. He did Walking with Cavemen, and then he decided to do A Story of God. Here I am thinking for a minute that he is an atheist, and then he does something about God. It's just really bizarre. And then he does another program called Human Instinct that came out in 2002, and Human Body that came out in 1998. But Robert Winston, who is Robert Winston, and does he have anything under his belt? Well, let's read what it says about him. A household name thanks to the TV supporter TV series that included The Human Body, which won and 3 BAFTs. I think these are awards. Superhuman, Walking with Cavemen, which we're talking about, The Human Mind, Lord Winston, Pioneer, Work and Field. So let's read more about him. Wait, how about Wikipedia instead? Robert Winston was born in Lawrence Winston and Ruth Winston Fox are brought up as an Orthodox Jew. So he is Jewish. So if we can see if he has anything under his belt, medical career, he has a medical career, political career, personal life. Does he have any thing under his belt? He served as a political party as a laborer in the United Kingdom. He had a spouse that passed away recently. Rest in peace. And he had 3 children, including Ben Winston. And he attended London Hospital Medical College, and his occupations were surgeon, scientist, television presenter, politician, and premier. But he is nowhere near what Nigel Marven is. And this is the part that really bothers me the most, is that they replaced Nigel Marven with Robert Winston, who has medical background, he has political background, but he doesn't have what Nigel Marven has, and that is a naturalist, wildlife presenter, and those are the things that he doesn't have. He doesn't have those things that Nigel Marven has, which is why this documentary, it missed the mark. Impossible Pictures really messed this up. Yes, it did have first ancestors 1, 2, 3, 4 4 episodes, but they could have done better. And here's the proof that we have of Nigel Marven being in the show. And we don't need this ad to be there. Get out of here. Nigel Marven would have done a better job at hosting this documentary, would have been able to present each species, and he would have done a better job than Robert Winston. And this is why this documentary missed the mark, and that's why this is my second thing with Impossible Pictures, is that this company that brought Walking with Dinosaurs series, and they completely missed the mark with Walking with Cavemen. And it just didn't. If they would have just left Nigel Marven in the documentary, then it would have been way better. It would have been way better. But yeah, they missed a perfectly opportunity, and they replaced Nigel Marven with a medical and political guy named Robert Winston, who doesn't have the things that Nigel Marven has in his belt, and that's why this documentary didn't do all so well. That's all I have to say about this documentary. Like, and if you're new, subscribe. Until next time, sign off. Pictures impossible? You have a lot to explain. This documentary messed up big time. How could you replace Nigel Marven? How could you?
Well, you see.
No, there is no well, you see. Nigel Marven is the best, okay? The best. You don't throw out the best over a politician and health person. I don't care what the excuse is or what you have to say about it. Nigel Marven is the best. You do not throw out the best.
I know. Calm down, chap.
No, there is no calm down. Nigel Marven is a naturalist, wildlife presenter, and this guy, Robert Winston, is not the best. Why? I just don't get you. First, you refuse to make a sequel about Prehistoric Park. Now this, oh my goodness gracious me. What am I gonna do with you?
First off, we didn't refuse to make a sequel. 6 episodes, take it or leave it. Walking with Cavemen is fine the way it is.
Fine the way it is? That's it. That does it. Come here, you!